Hey YouTube, RicoKnows here. Going to continue my series of talking about hidden gems for the 2024 college football season. If you weren't aware, I'm pointing out one hidden gem on every single team in America. Please go to the homepage, go to YouTube, search RicoKnows, click on the playlist, and watch the other videos. Learn about all the hidden gems in America. I study rosters for a living. This is not a hobby. I study rosters for a living because I provide picks for gamblers. I provide analysis on matchups. So when I go study rosters, I break it down by position group. And when I do this, I tend to look a little deeper than just the guys they're talking about on ESPN or Twitter or the recruiting websites. So when I dig a little deeper, I tend to find people, and I call them hidden gems. So here we are on Charlotte. And when I look at Charlotte, if you aren't aware of their program, it is a program in disarray. That's the reality of the situation. Biff Poggi showed up last year, got very excited. He brought in all these St. Francis kids. That's where he was a high school coach. That's where he had all the great players, some of the best teams in America in high school. And then he got to the collegiate level, brought them all in, and it was chaos. A lot of undisciplined penalties, a lot of just sporadic game plans, just misevaluating talent, and I've talked about it at length. If you go to the live stream, if you go to YouTube and you search the live tab, you will see an episode where I talked for 3.5 hours on every single offense in America. And when I got to Charlotte, I talked about their inability to evaluate the talent properly. There are really good players not in the 2 deep. There are really good players not in the starting lineup. And the prime example from last season was Hassan Wilson over here. Hassan Wilson is the 4th string running back, but when he finally got a chance to start, he rushed for 300 yards. It's like Hassan Wilson's a superstar, and he's a great running back, and you just keep pushing him to the bench for whatever reason. I don't know if it's doghouse, work ethic, I don't know. But I can just tell you that on a Saturday, with all the cameras on, that man did better than every running back in the room. It's the truth. But you brought in more transfers. You get C.J. Stokes from Michigan. You bring Cartavius Norton over from Iowa State. Congratulations. Congratulations. I hope they put it all together. But what I'm doing right now is evaluating defenses. That's what I'm doing at this point in the season, in the off season, if you will. I can show you guys. I evaluate every position group on every team in America. I've already done all the offense, and that's why I could do the podcast and talk to you guys about every team in America. Defensively, I'm going alphabetical, and I'm right here, and I'm right around Charlotte. So I'm ready to talk to you guys about the team and about the players, and then I always point out one hidden gem. And one thing I noticed about Charlotte is their defensive line. It's enormous. Their defensive line is SEC big. Like, that's what it is. I don't know how else to put it. Demon Clowney coming over from the SEC. That's, what is Clowney's? Javion Clowney. Bro, I can't have this happen to me in the middle of a video. I do not want to hit start over. I am 3 minutes in. I need to remember every name in the world. I can never forget. And there's Javion Clowney. You guys know the deal. So this is his cousin. Demon Clowney came over from Ole Miss. Great addition to the defense. Played great. There's Jonathan Wallace. We'll talk about him a little more. That's the young man in the picture below. Okay, he's my hidden gem. We'll get to him. Dre Butler. Dre Butler just transferred in from Michigan State. He's been at a couple other places, but the point is he transfers in. This is a good player, a Power 5 player, and he looks the part. And I'm sure on TV they're going to talk about him like he's great. More power to him. He's pretty good. Watching on tape, Steven Sings, it didn't work out at Auburn last year, but he's transferring in from the SEC. But this is I believe he was all conference when he played at Liberty for a couple years before that. This is really a Liberty guy, but he's great. He's starter caliber. It's a good addition to get. Avery Morris coming over. I believe Avery Morris is coming home. I could be wrong. Oh, no, I am wrong. I think Avery Morris is coming over. He transferred from UTSA to New Mexico State in the winter. Obviously, New Mexico State's entire team departed, and there was a lot of turnover, so you jump back in the portal, and here you are. Now you're at Charlotte. Congratulations. Prince played last year. Not bad. Stonehandy didn't play last year, and that's okay, because when you go look at Charlotte, leading tackler Demetrius Knight, now at South Carolina. Nakai Hill-Green, now at Colorado. Oki Onoma, surprised he's not in jail, but he's now just got drafted 2nd overall in the UFL. And then Balfour's still returning. What a great corner. I'll talk about him in a little bit. But like Iyabi Oki Onoma, he changed his name. He dropped the Onoma. I don't care if you change your name or not, bro. I saw you try to fight teammates, coaches, and everybody else. That's an ill-behaved person. Should not be in college football. Should not be in professional football. And unfortunately, the UFL still drafted him. He'll be a complete bust. I think he's a terrible person. I would never pull for that dude in a million years. Oh, but he's a 5-star talent, Rico. Yeah, there's a lot of those guys. I don't like them. So that's that. Very good players up front and good linebackers. And when you see good linebackers like this, this is why you see somebody like Stone Handy not in the starting lineup. But he's been around the block. He knows what he's doing. It looks like a good, he's been in college for 5 years. It looks like a good addition to come out here and do his thing. C.J. Burton, get a chance to start at corner. You're going to get attacked a lot because Balfour is great. He's a shutdown corner, and you're probably going to be targeted more than you're ready for. I hope you're good. And shout out to the former Boston College players in the secondary, and Klink Scales also came over from Boston College. This just looks good. It looks good like they're evaluating that talent correctly in that area. I trust Boston College. Remember when Hafley was the head coach? They were doing it right. Trayvon McGee, I ain't mad at him, bro. I know he's coming over and he couldn't start at Iowa State. I know. But Iowa State safeties are so good. Like, Iowa State's entire secondary is returning from last year. When I turn on the tape and study Iowa State, they're so good, okay? Like, I'm so impressed. I would say they're top 10. I'm not exaggerating. If you don't think Iowa State's defensive backs are top 10, let's go top 15. That's how I feel about them. Maybe, top 15. And if you can't start over them, there's no shade in that. I hope he gets a chance to play great. He's out here doing his thing. Added a bunch of depth in the transfer portal. Got it. I don't want to do this whole rundown. I want to tell you I did study the coaching staff as well. Shout out to them. They did add Dre Bly as a defensive analyst. Great news. Dre Bly, former NFL great, spent 4 years, spent 11 years in the NFL, but then spent 4 years coaching DBs at North Carolina. He's the reason North Carolina had a number of great defensive backs. They all hit the portal last year after he left and went to the Lions. So 1 season in the NFL, now he's back, and he's on Biff Poggi's staff. That's pretty cool. Remember, there's no limit on how many coaches you can have, so he can actually do on-the-field coaching. Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. And not just stay up in the booth and not just do some analyst crap. He can actually teach these guys something, which is pretty awesome. That being said, I go turn on the tape and I start watching players, and one guy sticks out to me as a hidden gem all day long, and it's Jonathan Wallace. That's a young man in the picture below. You see him down here. Firstly, Jonathan Wallace used to be labeled an interior offensive lineman, 6'3", 315 pounds, went the community college route. So you're playing at St. Francis, and then you got to go the JUCO route. So he goes to Holmes Community College, and now he goes to Charlotte. He signed with Charlotte. You see it down here. They can give him whatever they want to give him. They can say what they want to say. This is a special athlete. He's nearly 400 pounds, guys. He's nearly 400 pounds. 6'3", 400 pounds. I already told you this defensive line is SEC caliber, like that big. I don't know about the talent being equivalent. I'm talking about the size. And size matters. This is why, ask your girl, size matters. This is why the linebackers can get so many tackles on every play. This is why they get clean looks at everything. It's because the defensive line is occupying those offensive linemen, not letting them get to the second level. Jonathan Wallace maintains 2 gaps sometimes. He maintains 2 blockers for sure. It's a grueling job to go out there every single play, whether it's a pass or a run, and maintain your spot on that line of scrimmage, on that side of the ball, on the field. It's grueling. And so you got to have depth. I think they recruited a ton of depth. They signed him in the transfer portal. But starting 11, first series, hey, Jonathan Wallace is here, bro. And he's a problem up front. I'm telling you, you're not moving this man. And with all the help they brought in the transfer portal, Dre Butler and Sing's coming over, Dre Martin, all these guys showing up, this is the help you need up front. And he's got it. But this man is 6'3", 400 pounds. And I need to show you what kind of special athlete he is. And I want to do it in the best way possible. Firstly, I can't show you game film because I got a copyright violation on my last video about the Auburn kicker. I showed the spring game clip, and they doxed me, and I don't make any money off that. But let me show you guys this clip here because I can show huddle film all day. And if you look, he is this running back here. We're 1 second in the video. They have him at running back. This is an interior offensive lineman, so they say. This whole video is defensive line, by the way, and except for this first clip where he's a running back. I just think he's a special athlete who can move at a different clip and level than people his size. He actually gives max effort on plays. You'll see him chasing down plays at an angle, running them down. He's violent at the point of contact. He impacts the game up front. Now, granted, you're like, well, Rico, he's playing against a bunch of scrubs. It's high school ball. No, bro. Look at the clip. You're going to see uniforms you recognize. That's modern day on St. John Bosco's field. That's modern day, and he is dominating modern day up front. As a matter of fact, that's Bryce Young right there. That is Bryce Young, number 9. Okay, so these are the best players in America, and he's collapsing that entire offensive line. All those Samoan linemen, collapsing those dudes. That was Morano, who just transferred from Washington to San Diego State last year, and he's going to be a starter at San Diego State at the left tackle spot. But when you look at these teams, nobody resets the line of scrimmage better than him. He's going to your side of the ball. He's occupying what he needs to occupy, but it's the effort. Here he is against modern day again. Pull your guards all you want, bro. I'm going to get to it. Pull your guards. I'm going to force a fumble. It's a problem, bro. Look at this man. Yes, pad level's a concern when you're this big. Obviously, he's been in college for a while. He's been working on it. But look at that effort. Running the play down. Princely Manley would never. Okay? I love everything I see. Jonathan Wallace is out here giving max effort. Jonathan Wallace is out here giving max effort of a man his size is unheard of. Here he is going to slant hard. Doesn't matter. He's going to occupy whatever you want him to occupy. It's a great thing to have up front. The size is there. I know. A lot of you guys are like, man, he's too big to be functional. I don't know, bro. He's doing it. Go turn on the tape. He's doing it. Nose tackle, getting tackles, getting to the ball. I think Charlotte has a sneaky good front 7. I'm telling you that right now. Sneaky good front 7. When I watch tape, their front 7 looks like something they should be excited for. It does. And if you didn't think they had good players, then you tell me why South Carolina and Colorado are recruiting their best players, are going out and signing their best players out of the transfer portal. They have power 4 guys. They do. They just don't have the greatest coaching. They just don't have the greatest scheme around. Right? When you go out there, remember this. When you're a first-time coach and you're a first-time coordinator in collegiate football, the hardest thing you're supposed to do, the hardest thing you're going to have, the biggest challenge you're going to have as a coach is knowing who you're coaching against. It's your first time seeing that other offensive coordinator's habits, scheme, what he calls on certain plays. And over the years, if you get enough repetitions, you get better. And you start to learn what their tendencies are and what that guy's habit is. You get better at reading his decision making. But in that initial year, it's a lot of growing pains. So they need some type of continuity. They did just bring out a new defensive coordinator. He's from the NFL. I'm not too excited about it. But they got players, man. And they got studs up front. And guys like Jonathan Wallace, when I watch tape, you just see a more active nose tackle. I want you guys to understand. I'm studying every position group. So when I get to Charlotte, I'm going alphabetical on the chart. Let me explain this. My chart is alphabetical. So when I get there and I look, I just finish looking at Central Michigan, for example. And when I look at Charlotte nose tackles, they're just better. They're better. I know Central Michigan. I just watched Central Michigan on tape. Now I'm watching Charlotte and I go, whoa, that's better than what I just saw on the MAC. And that's kind of how I have these revelations. And I think Jonathan Wallace is pretty damn good. If you want to learn about all the hidden gems, go to the homepage, search RicoKnows, click on playlist, find the RicoKnows Hidden Gems playlist. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. Keep watching the videos, guys. Thanks a lot. Peace.